Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of Emigrate Open Day. Thank you for joining us. I know a few people are still getting into the room. Welcome. I will share my screen now. Welcome for those just joining in. I know you can't unmute yourself. However, if you can hear me, could you pop in the chat just to confirm that you can hear me and that you can see my screen? Please pop in the chat if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. Pop in the chat. Thank you. Welcome to today's edition of Emigrate Open Day. We've been doing this for a little while now, and we're really excited to see everyone in the room today. Today we'll be joined by our guest, Eyitayo. I'm sure he's just in the waiting room trying to get in, who is going to be sharing his experience. But just before we get rolling with our guest today, I will just be sharing a few things, a few background information around what Emigrate is, what we are trying to do, and what we are focusing on at Emigrate. My name is Bade Adeshemowo. I'm CTO and co-founder of Social Lender, amongst many other things. Today, I'll be your facilitator for the ride, and I look forward to us adding value to every single person on this call. Emigrate is, we call it the tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement. And one of the things we do at Emigrate is the Emigrate Open Day. One of the edition is today's edition that we are joining. Previously, last week, we had an edition last week with Chidema Emodi Chukwuemeka, who was speaking to us about the Edmond Hillary Fellowship, where she was a global impact entrepreneur. She got a fellowship to New Zealand on that. Today's edition, we'll be speaking with, and our guest will be Eyitayo Ogunmola, the CEO of Utiva, and also a UK global talent, who will also be sharing with us his journey and some tips for our community, the Emigrate community, around what you can do to become exceptional, what you can do to become a global talent, what you can do to become exceptional in your field. I'll just say upfront that if you need help, particularly with any of the tech-enabled visa pathways that we speak about today or that we've spoken about in any one of our Emigrate Open Days, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We do a lot of things for free. One of them is the Emigrate intro, which is for free. And so do not hesitate to reach out to us. Also, don't hesitate to watch quite a number of the videos that we already have that we've done, because we've done quite a number of Emigrate Open Days so far. We've had people like Okwayemi Awoyemi talking about the US and some ways in which you can go to the US using tech-enabled visa pathways. We've had people like Shina Madamori speaking to us also around the US. We've had Shola Amushon speaking about Canada, the startup visa in Canada, and speaking about North America generally. We've also had a number of global talents of the UK speaking to us. We've had people that had the innovator visa in the UK speaking to us as well. We've had all these sessions recorded, and so we ask that please take advantage of the opportunity and take a look at some of those videos. Something came up just last month, and we realized that for many people we've worked with on the UK Global Talent Track, something was common amongst many of them. It was that when they did get their endorsement letter, they missed it. So some people missed it for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and so on. It was just sitting in their inbox, and they didn't know that they had actually gotten the endorsement. They were still praying for the endorsement. And so we decided to just say that, hey guys, the endorsement itself is just a simple email that says application update. And that email itself is something that would change your life, particularly if this is something you are looking out to doing. What is Emigrate? What Emigrate does is to help you become globally attractive. This is our focus. Yes, I know many of us came into this room because of the different visas available, but we believe that the visa itself is a side effect of something bigger. Because if you are globally attractive, many countries will want you. Different economies will want you to come to their own, to come to them because they know that you are going to add value to them. They know that you are going to bring in more taxes, you are going to create employment, you are going to bring your innovation, and so on. And so many countries all over the world have created um, different types of visas, really, from the startup visa, from French tech visa, Canada startup visa, and in the UK, we have the global talent visa. All of these visas have something in common. What they have in common is the fact that they are looking for people who are globally attractive. And there are two ways from the way we see it that you can be globally attractive. The first way is that you could be globally attractive by having a globally attractive tech profile. The second way is that you have a globally attractive tech-enabled business, typically a startup, but not necessarily a technology startup, really. But Emigrate is focused on technology. At Emigrate, we do a lot of things for free. And one of the things we ask is that please take advantage of several things that we have available free of charge before you start considering any of the premium packages. And for many people, what you need are some of the things that are available already for free. Of course, there are a few people and people that would need some of our premium packages as well. Some of the things we have available for free is information and inspiration. One of them we're doing with this open day, bringing people that have taken the journey for them to share their experience and also inspire members of our community. We've also systematically been building a community around Emigrate as well, around people that are interested in tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement. The monthly open days are also free for now to the Emigrate community. In the future, it will be a paid open day, but for now they are free. We do have a bunch of introductory videos, and you also get advantage of a short inquiry session. For now, it is limited to one short inquiry session per person. So we ask that please, before you come for that inquiry session with any one of the consultants, ensure that you have gotten all your background information. Don't come to that session to ask questions you could have gotten answered at this open day. Don't come to that session asking questions like, oh, what kind of visas are available? We expect that these are the kind of information we are sharing at the open day. And so you are coming to ask specific questions specific to you that you require some answers to. We do have premium packages as well. One of them is a premium community called Emigrate Circle. We do have a personalized consultation service and several other services as well. The one I find that's my favorite is actually a 1 to 2 year journey, an hand-holding journey, coaching, and everything else that you need to help you become globally attractive over a period of time. What kind of things does the Emigrate services cover? For example, if you're trying to apply for your Tech Nation visa endorsement and you need help, you can talk to us. First of all, it's free. The introductory services is free, so you have nothing to lose anyway. However, we do have premium services because we do charge for our time as well. If you need a self-directed roadmap to qualify for any one of the tech-enabled visas we've spoken about in the Emigrate Open Days, this is also available where we could have one of our consultants speak with you and also be able to chart a pathway. No two people are the same. And so everybody has their uniqueness. And because of that, they can chart a pathway for you. Some of this, of course, will require a lot of work, your own work, things that you have to do. However, if you need that handholding, that is also available. If you are applying for the Global Talent Visa and you were rejected, for example, and you need help with your endorsement review, you can also reach out to us. These are some of the things that we do at Emigrate. In addition, Emigrate is a part of a bigger company called Bincom Dev Center. And with Bincom Dev Center, one of the services we have is the Global Tech Program. With the Global Tech Program, it has 3 key pillars. The first is for you to learn skills. Second is for you to gain experience. And then third, gain exposure. We say learn tech now, pay later, because the cost of the program is 1.2 million for the 1 to 2 year journey. However, the company has decided that they are able to invest in you if you do qualify in any which way, right? And what would happen is that you can start paying your fee when you get a high-paying job in the field of technology. Interesting thing with the Global Tech Program is the Emigrate Premium I mentioned earlier is also incorporated into the program. And then for some of us that are already well established in the field of technology, one of the ways that you can show yourself as globally attractive is by mentoring. And Bincom recently started a formal mentoring platform called the Bincom Mentoring Platform. And with that platform, you can apply to be a mentor, and those kinds of things qualify as some of the evidence that you can submit in the near future to say that you are globally attractive, to say that you are adding value outside the field of outside your regular day-to-day job and so on. And I'm sure we're going to speak a lot more about that, as today we are speaking around the Tech Nation visa. Something I would mention is that do not expect that you will just overnight say, oh, I just started today and then I want to just go and apply and I'm going to get it. It may happen, yeah, depending on some of the things that you have done in the past, depending on what is available in your portfolio and so on. The key point is that you need to show a track record. Question is, do you already have that track record? If not, can you start building that track record today? If you already have it, then why don't you package yourself and apply as well? For us, Emigrate started as solving a challenge that existed that we saw within our own companies, where people did not realize the opportunities that was available to them. It got worse because some of these people are people that we would even say, hey, did you know you could qualify for this in a year if you just do this, and they still don't do those things because they find it very hard for them to say when they are saying something like exceptional talent, global talent, it could be me that they are talking about. That's actually how we started, why Emigrate started in the first place. For some of us, this slide is something you may want to take a screenshot of because these are some of the visas that are available to you today that we consider as tech-enabled visas. These are not all the visa options available. These are just some of the ones that we are currently tracking in Emigrate because we're focused at the moment in the following countries: the UK, US, Canada, and France. It's not an exhaustive list, and it's by no means an exhaustive list of available visas. I know I've been keeping our guest waiting for a little bit, and I saw him come into the room not too long ago. And so I'll just yield the floor to him now. I've taken about 3 more minutes than I should have for this section. And so I would say thank you so much to our guest, Eyitayo. Thank you for honoring us, and thank you for giving back to even this our community by showing up for this open day and also helping to share your unique story around the Global Talent Visa and about some of the things that we are going to be sharing today. The session will go with Eyitayo sharing a presentation, not slides, just his own story. And then after that, we would then segue into question and answers. I would ask that if you already have questions, please share your questions in the chat because we may not have time to ask you to unmute yourself to ask questions. So if you already have questions, please send them in the chat and we will get to them, as many of them as possible. So that being said, I've made Eyitayo co-host already, I think. Let me just do that now so that I'll be able to unmute himself. Yeah, so I've made Eyitayo co-host now. And so welcome, Eyitayo.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, buddy. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. It's 8:14. I'm in Lagos at the moment. I'm very, very excited about this. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share and also to inspire others. And I hope that I do a better job with inspiring you. It's quite a very interesting time. The world is super connected. And one of the things I usually would like to start with is a new way to think about, talents. Developed economies are competing for talents. Emerging economies, developed economies have kind of woken up to that reality. And it looks to me like Africa is still sleeping. But let me just quickly tell you a little bit about myself. Eyitayo is my name, born, bred, raised, grew up in Lagos, Nigeria, schooled at the University of Ilorin, zero technology background, like studied medical physiology. I don't know how to write a single code. The only thing I know is that there is a sharp, and I don't know what that sharp means in technology. The core of my job is leadership leadership in tech. That's the core of the work that I do, leadership in tech. But one of the easiest ways to think about it is, product leadership, product management. I started my career actually as a project manager. I wasn't really privy to technology, so I knew nothing about technology, right? But in 2013, I saw an opportunity to jump into tech. I wanted to help people to learn. I wanted to help people to write examinations, all this GMAT, what's it called? TOEFL, IELTS exam. So I wanted to build like a mock platform that helps them, to write the exam before they go to, do the real exam. So I got 150,000 naira from a friend, and that was in 2013. I built something that was really, really, very scanty and unstructured, disorganized. The name I gave to it was I Unravel, iunravel.com. That was my first journey into, product management, into tech. In 2015, I had the opportunity to move to the US as an Atlas Corp fellow. I was in the US for 1.5 years. I moved back. I started Utiva. And, Utiva is just a platform that helps you to learn every technology skill. But I wasn't interested in relocating. I wasn't really, really interested. For me, I love Nigeria so much. And that's why I'm in Lagos at the moment, right? I have a UK visa, the Global Talent visa. I have an O1 visa in the US. But I'm in Nigeria at the moment. I'm in Lagos, because I am super excited about this country. I just want to build in Nigeria. But in 2019, it was like I was punctured everywhere. I was punctured. I saw my dream just in front of me. It looked like Nigeria was kind of messing up my plans. So I sat down and I told myself that, guy, it's high time you go yourself a plan B. It's high time you go yourself a plan B. And that was one of the things I told myself. But in 2020, COVID happened. So I couldn't really do much. I was locked in the US. I was in Washington, D.C. People were dying, quite an unfortunate situation. I didn't want to come back to Nigeria. I had a resolution to get myself a visa. So I started to apply for the O1 visa. I was tired because the O1 visa is demanding. They were asking for a lot of documentation, a lot of letters. And one of the things I realized is that there is a certain way you write some of these things. There's a way you have to write some of these things. I never knew that. I had a brilliant lady that was really helping me. So she would reject many of my write-ups and say, Tayo, you know what? Rewrite this. I'm not sure these guys would understand what you've just written. So I got tired, right? And I started to look for another option. I was exploring Canada. I was exploring France. I was looking for Germany. I wasn't really interested in the UK because the UK, to me, is quite too conservative. I'm an American by blood. I love the American energy. I love the American Glasgow, So I wanted to just live in New York or live in DC, That was my thing. But I ran into the UK Global Talent Visa Program. And for me, I honestly still think that this is the best visa program for tech folks across the world. I'll give you my argument, right? And you don't have to like the UK, but you have to fall in love with this visa program. You don't have to like the UK, but you have to fall in love with this visa program because this is one of the best visas that you can ever think of. Number one is that this visa gives you, about 3 years if you get the exceptional promise. You get up to 5 years if you get the exceptional talent. And this is 5 years, 365 days times 5, right? 5 years. You have the opportunity to live in the UK. You have the opportunity to step out of the UK. I have mentors in Nigeria that run technology companies in Nigeria, and they have the same visa. I would have loved to mention one of their names, but I didn't get his permission to do that. He runs one of the most successful tech companies that you know. He got his visa, traveled to the UK, and came back to Nigeria. This is almost the second year into the visa program, and he hasn't even stepped into the UK since then. He has a house in the UK, rented, he does his UK thing, and he's in Nigeria chilling. Excuse me. And, I find this opportunity quite very fascinating and interesting. And the beauty is that, with the Tech Nation visa, or what is called the Global Talent Visa, you get the opportunity to come to the UK with your spouse. Your spouse gets exactly what you get. So for instance, if you have a 5-year endorsement, I'm still going to break all these things down for you so that you can pretty much understand what I'm talking about. Your spouse can also get or can also claim up to 5-year visa stamp. The thought for me is that you can do anything except being a doctor, being a sportsman. You can decide to work in tech. If you don't want to work in tech, that's fine, but it's usually encouraged that you stay within the industry that got you into the UK. You can also choose to be an entrepreneur. I registered Utiva the first week I got into the UK. I made up my mind that I was not going to be, an employee in the UK, that I was going to be an entrepreneur. So I registered my company. I'm having a rethink. I'll be in London in the next 3 weeks. So I'm having a rethink. Maybe I might get another job in London, but this visa gives you the flexibility to do anything with your life, right? Why? Because, you are a talent. That's the way to think about it. You are a talent. And it's a highly coveted opportunity for a country like the UK to have someone like you, come contribute to the economy. So let me walk you through how this works in reality for some of you that have no knowledge of what I'm talking about. So basic background information for you is that this visa is called the UK Global Talent Visa, right? Some people like to call it the Tech Nation visa. I will tell you why some people like to call it Tech Nation visa, but the more generic terminology is the UK Global Talent Visa program. That is the easiest way to remember, the visa program. Now, this visa attracts, talents. There are 3 major categories, but one major one is digital technology talent. People with some certain skills, technology skills like cybersecurity, data science, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, digital marketing, product design, product management. But hey, you don't have to have the tech skills like me. You can be a product manager. You can be an entrepreneur in tech. You can be someone that is just building a fintech solution, an insurtech. You can be, as long as you have a connection to the technology industry, right? You are regarded or you are seen as a talent. That is one of the things I want you to have at the back of your mind. So that's number 1. Number 2 is this, right? This visa, excuse me, actually, actually have a bit of cough.
Bless you.
And I thought I've been doing well without my water.
You're doing very well.
Yeah. So this visa is categorized into 2. There is the exceptional talent. There is the exceptional promise, right? Exceptional talent is kind of given to people that can show some form of, credibility, antecedents, past successes in the digital technology ecosystem or in the digital technology space. But there's also an opportunity for those that do not have 5 years, 6, 7 years experience. If you're a new starter, if you're just early, you've got 2 years, you can be endorsed for what is called the exceptional promise, right? And as an exceptional promise, it means that, hey, the UK believes that you are a fast rising star. The future is bright for you. So they give you about 3 years, but as an exceptional promise, they give you 5 years. And the interesting thing with this visa is that you can come into the UK anytime and get out anytime, right? And this is the part I did not mention. In 5 years, if you get, so for example, I got the 5-year endorsement, that means that in 3 years, After 3 years, after completing 3 years in the UK, I get what is called the permission to leave. I don't know what that is called again, permit to leave. That means that I can stay in the UK forever, right? Or something.
Indefinite leave to remain.
Indefinite leave to remain. Thank you. And after 5 years, you can get the UK citizenship, right? And that's quite very interesting. And I think it was the citizenship that got me excited, because I was like, okay, let's go become a new citizen of another country. We'll have dual citizenship, Nigeria and the UK. So that's got me quite very excited. But let me talk about my experience, how I applied, because I know that that's the part that really, really excites a lot of people. So when I started to research about this, I was really, really overwhelmed. Just like one of my friends would say, I was overwhelmed, like really, really overwhelmed. And I thought that I could find a balance, but I was really, really overwhelmed with the magnitude of the information that existed, on web. So what I did was just to go on YouTube, because YouTube gives you some bit of fun. So I started to watch videos, but I didn't see a lot of things, on YouTube. I saw a bunch of Indians, of course, brilliant people. I saw a bunch of, Russians, Americans that also got the visa, but I saw one amazing Nigerian, that did a video about the visa program. So I thought to myself that I was not qualified. I honestly thought that I was not qualified. But Eyitayo, as usual, right? I mean, you die here, I would apply, So I started to put all my documents together, started to put all my things together. Primarily, the first thing you have to have at the back of your mind is that you have some substance, but most times you don't know. You have substance, and most times you don't know. I mean, I totally agree that there are people with zero capacity to apply. Like, you've never done anything in tech before, like you can't apply. But I've also realized that most people really undermine or underrate themselves. Like, you've got some great things. So I'll give you an example. I applied, right? I don't know why I was selected, but I know that I submitted the designs of some of the tech product that I had built. And they were not incredible. They were not really, really, exceptional things. They were just, screen grab, screen munch, just trying to get some things here and there. Usually, you see, tech is interesting, so nobody's judging you. I didn't have line of codes, right? Like some of you guys, but I hear that some of you guys are developers already. Like, I didn't have the softwares, I didn't have anything to show, right? But I had two things, right? I had Utiva, and I had PM Hub. So I had to submit the registration document of my first company, PM Hub, which is a which is a technology consulting company. And then I submitted Utiva's documents, right? That's one. And then I started to think to myself, how do I show that Utiva is really a credible organization? I submitted the bank accounts, right, of PM Hub and also Utiva, submitted the bank accounts of these two different companies. Then I also submitted a letter of introduction from my chief operating officer and from one of my board members, like introducing me. This is just a letter, right? I think everyone here can get a letter. Hi, this is Eyitayo Ogunmola. But there's a certain way you need to write these things, because I submitted a letter, and I can tell you for free that it's possible you submit a letter and you get bounced. So there is the language, there is the representation, there is a way you have to tell the story of the work that you have done and how that work has contributed to the technology ecosystem in your country, right? So I did not just say, hey, this is Eyitayo, balling, an entrepreneur. No, this is Eyitayo that has employed X, Y, Z number of people based in this location. His organization has trained this number of people, generated this revenue. You need to be able to demonstrate the capacity to impact and to support the ecosystem. Because remember that the purpose of this visa program is not to celebrate you. That's the part I'm going. The visa is it's not a celebratory visa. It's an invitation to contribute to the UK economy. So if you cannot show that you have contributed in your own home country, of course, you are talented, you're smart, you're brilliant, but you have not just contributed. It's so difficult to see your contribution. So you need to write whatever you are submitting, or you need to put together your document to show that you have contributed. So one of the things I submitted, videos of my training. And that's where I challenge you guys, right? If you are not training people, you're missing out. You need to be training on one thing. You need to be doing training for people. You need to be contributing. You know, whatever you know, if the only thing you know in tech today, like me, is C#, you need to be training people in C# and document your evidence. Document your evidence. So one of the things that really, really helped me was that I put together hundreds of videos, like all my videos on YouTube, on Vimeo. I put everything together. You know, I used the screenshots of the videos just to demonstrate that, hey, I've been contributing. That's number two. Then third thing I did, I think I really did well, was getting recommendation letters. I'm going to grab myself another water. So recommendation letters, right? Recommendation letters. And you might not be like me, right? I quite understand. But for me, I got recommendation letters from like some of the best places. I got from MIT. I got from MIT Solve. I got from I got from Halcyon. I got from Global Good Fund. I got from Passion Incubator. I got some very credible recommendation letters. You know, some of those guys saying great things about me. I submitted some very good, recommendation letters. But I also feel that you can get a recommendation letter from the university. And that's where I would encourage you, if you're going to apply for this in the next 8 months, today, pick one university, look at the level advisor in that university, and begin to train on the graduate in that school. So that when you need a recommendation letter in the future, in the next 8 months, you can go back to that dean of that faculty and say, hey, I've trained over 500 people in your school. Can you write something about me? If you get lucky, a professor says you are a talent, so be it. So I got recommendation letter. I put all these things together just to backtrack a little bit, document of my 2 companies, recommendation letters, design of some of the software I've built. I couldn't submit the line of codes. I submitted the designs. I submitted I submitted my master's degree. I had a master's degree in business strategy, which is not really a tech thing, but I submitted it. So for you, if you have a master's degree, remember, I have a friend that had no master's degree, got it. Like not a lot of recommendation letter like mine, got the visa. So these things are quite very, what's the word again? It depends on how you're able to put your documents together. Then I wrote an essay, I think about 200 words or something, about why the UK should consider me, right? Wrote a lot about the things that I've done in the past and what I'm excited about. One other thing I talked about, was that I also mentioned the things I was coming to the UK to come do. I wanted to come to the UK to come build an education technology company that would help people learn the future of work skill, Utiva, of course. So write about your ambition. Be free to express yourself. I think that the world is meant for people that can express themselves. If you shrink, please discard that mindset, right? If you see, the typical reaction when you want to apply for things like this is, I'm not enough. Well, that's fine, right? That's fine. It's okay for you to think that you are not enough. The good thing is that you are not the one that would evaluate yourself. So it's fine if you think you are not enough, but submit everything within your capacity. Right? Many times I wake up when I want to apply for things that I'm not enough. Many times that I'm not enough. I wake up and I still think, well, I haven't done much. when compared to people like, me of Jobberman, come on, I would say I have not done enough. But the good thing is that I'm not the one that would evaluate it. So I would submit everything within my purview. I would just submit everything. And that's one of the things that I would ask you to do. Put your best foot forward. Look at all the things you've done. Don't, this is where I'm going to be rounding up. Don't undermine anything. Don't undermine anything. Don't. There's a lady that got the UK Global Talent Visa. And when she got endorsed as a UK Global Talent, as an exceptional talent, she sent me 250,000. She was so excited. She was like, Eyitayo, please, thank you so much. Just some pictures of some training she had done for some girls in Unilag, some things, just put them together. And I kept encouraging her, see, babe, you're not the one that would evaluate yourself. Put your best foot forward. Just put everything, right? But because we are too critical of ourselves, most times, we undermine our capacity to absorb some of these opportunities. And my recommendation is sit down, take your time, get your notepad, because I got mine, and start to list all the things that you have done, little things as small things like you attended this training. Don't undermine, just put it somewhere. When you get to the bridge, you cross it, but just put them somewhere, because they also asked for training programs that you've attended yourself. Training programs that you've attended yourself. And remember, Onyibo are not Nigeria people, right?
I'm sure Eyitayo will be back.
It is in Nigeria that you have my network.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I think the network cut me off. Yeah.
Yes, you're back now. Welcome back.
Cool. Cool. So most of the I'm actually using my hotspot. So
yeah, back now again. I think
absolutely
fine now.
Yeah. Remember that most of the tech entrepreneurs outside this continent are dropouts. Remember, most of them study by just watching YouTube videos. So don't be tough on yourself. The guy that would evaluate you is probably a dropout. So don't be too tough on yourself. Just submit what you have. If you have a PhD, good for you. If you learned by just going to a course on National Open University, good for you. Nobody knows what National Open University is abroad. Nobody knows the difference between National Open University and University of Ilorin. If you attend an accredited institution, forget about it. Maybe it's an HND or an OND or anything. Put your best foot forward. And then you will be so surprised, what will be the outcome of your application. But I'll round up by saying, remember that you need some level of support. You need support. Most of us got support. I gave my application to two of my friends to review for me. If you have someone that can review for you, that can help you think through what you're submitting, remember that 3 heads are better than 2 and 2 is better than 1, right? You might want to get support, and that's what I think that people like Bade is here to help you do and help you achieve. Thank you so much. This is where I'm going to call it a night, and I will be happy to entertain your questions.
Thank you so much, Eyitayo. That's so inspiring. I'm sure that there are several questions. I have quite a number of them as well that I will be asking. I'll just encourage our audience that please, if you have a question, drop it in the chat. There will likely not be enough time to ask anyone to speak, to ask their questions. So we'll just be taking the questions from the chat. So Eyitayo, you've spoken about quite a number of things. And I know one of the questions that came up was around O1 visa, technician visa, and all of that. But I'll ask a question. What were there similarities in the documentations needed between the O1 and the technician visa? You're mute. Okay. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Absolutely. There were some similarities.
Your video is off though.
Oh, okay. There were some similarities, really. Let me think about it this way. The first thing I submitted for O1, and I'm trying to see if I can get that document out. I'm trying to see if the first one I submitted was okay, I think I've seen it.
Yeah. So this is being recorded, so just in case there's anything private, maybe not to share live, but I
so that again, I didn't hear that.
I said this is being recorded, so in case there's something private, not to share. Yeah, but
I think the first thing I sent was about, I'm looking at the document now, about 10 pages CV for my O1 visa, 10 pages. You have to clearly outline each page, right? And then Global Talent Visa is a digital submission. O1 visa, you have to put the whole, you have to print everything out and some sort of like courier it to the Department of State or something. I can't remember exactly. For Tech Nation, you have to get recommendation letters. For O1, you have to get recommendation letters. For O1, you really need to get credible recommendation because America, it's another world entirely. You have to get credible recommendation. I mean, Tech Nation, you have to, but remember that O1 is not just for tech people. So it's more competitive than, what's it called, than the Global Talent Visa. I think that's just pretty much the difference. For O1, I didn't submit, what's it called? Screenshot of anything, slides of my previous training, just recommendation letters, then links to my mention on online. So if you're quite very conservative about your life, I think O1 might not be for you. O1 is really looking for people that are really out there. You've got some credible links talking about the works that you have done in the past year.
Thank you for that, Eyitayo. Thank you for that. Somebody was asking, I think I'll just take this one. What's the success rate of the UK technician visa? At the moment, the success rate is around 50-something%. So let's just say about 50%. That's the success rate. What that means is that for every one person that applies, every two people that applies, one person gets it. Eyitayo, we have three categories of our audience within the Emigrate community. We have people that are just getting into the field of technology and they're wondering that, what is it that you people are talking about? Can this be me in the near future? Do you have some advice for them? We have this, that's the first category. Second category are people that, are already in tech they've been in tech for a little bit, 5 years, 4 years, thereabout, and they're now wondering that, what's the next step for me? Do you have any advice for them as well? There's a subset of that category we find now who are currently doing their masters in the UK. And the problem they have is the fact that their student visa doesn't give them ILR or settlement in the near future. They get 2 years to work, but that also doesn't even start counting towards settlement. So the question is, what can they do at this point? They're doing masters and their time is running out in the UK. Third set of people are people that are highly experienced, head of IT in a bank, a startup founder, and people like that. And they are also wondering that what are the options for me? I don't know if you have some specific advice for those three audience.
Yes, absolutely, I do. My first, this is not a recommendation, this is not an advice, this is the line of thought, is that these opportunities will always be around for almost forever, right? Because of what I call the talent mobility. So it's okay to take your time if you think about it that way. The second thing is be very intentional about learning a premium technology skill, a premium. There are some skills that if you have within 1 year of demonstrating that you've learned that skills and you've worked on some project here and there, you're a talent. Cybersecurity, cloud computing, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning. On the tech business side, product management, right? So, if you have the time, the opportunity, and you don't have to be an expert, remember, open up yourself, start to learn a tech skill. Learn a tech skill. But the things I had mentioned, number one is this. Let me walk you through a line of thought, right? Number one is start a tech company. Remember that with just a website, you have a company. You can describe what you want to do, start a tech company, that's an option. Apply to incubators, apply to the thousands, millions of incubators around the world. Maybe not millions, but thousands of incubators around the world. Apply, because you only need one or two of them. If you get in, you already have someone to give you a recommendation letter when you need it. Another thing is that teach people too. If you are abroad, volunteer your time, say it on LinkedIn. Hey, I just learned X, Y, Z. I want to train you. Let people register. 3-4 people register. You're already putting together your documents, your portfolio, and then be closer to integrate, right? Because you need to continue to inspire yourself. It's so depressing if you're doing this thing alone. I've been there. I can tell you for free. Because many times you just wake up and be like, see, guy, I'm not even sure I'm going to be selected. And it's a new world of intimidation. So you probably have seen Eyitayo's news online that Eyitayo just got the UK Global Talent Visa. And then you're like, wow, Eyitayo and you. So you are intimidated. Well, you need to stay connected to integrate, right? Because you will continue to learn. But most importantly, you will continue to inspire yourself. And that's one of the things that I did well, because there was COVID in 2020. There was nowhere to go. So I was jobless in the US. I was just sleeping and waking up. So I was able to watch all the videos. So I kept inspiring myself, because stuff like this, you're putting all documents together, it can be very depressing. So that's pretty much the way I would think about it. If you're in the UK already, I think you have an advantage, because you can pick up a tech skill, but don't pick the cheap ones. Pick the premium ones, the ones that today, even Tech Nation identified as some of the top: cybersecurity, cloud, data science, artificial intelligence, some of these very premium tech skills, and continue to work on virtual projects as a way to demonstrate your competence.
Thank you so much for that, Eyitayo. What I will just do is I will share my screen to just show the audience, and this is in public domain anyway. But I'll just share my screen to show the audience some of the tech skills that you were talking about, specifically the ones identified by Tech Nation. I trust you don't mind, Eyitayo.
Sure.
Yeah. So this is the Tech Nation visa site, and this site has a lot of information that I believe that you should go check out yourself. Eyitayo was speaking already about some specific tech skills that is considered premium today. And I know somebody was asking that, is there anything for me as a web developer? If you look at my screen right now, hopefully you can see my screen, you will see a bunch of tech skills that are documented. Some of them technical, some of them are business skills. And it's up to you to be able to say, oh, this is what I am targeting. The interesting thing is that on this side, they've already given you your answer scripts to say that this is what your profile must match. And if your profile matches this, come and apply, because we want you in our economy. The question is, have you even read this page? All right, because this page is in public domain. Have you gone there? Have you checked it out yourself? Have you decided that, oh, this is something I'm going to be looking at and targeting as well? I don't know if that was useful, but yeah, that's something I thought to share. And I've dropped the link to the site I just shared now. I've dropped it in the chats. Some of us will probably pick it up, and some of us won't. Eyitayo, in no particular order, I know somebody is asking that, how long did it take you to get O1 visa from start to acceptance? Is this something you are comfortable answering?
Yeah, I mean, O1 visa took me almost 1 year. Honestly, I abandoned O1 visa, and that's not because the visa application is tough. That's because at that time, United States had a president, amazing president, that had blocked, some of this application, right? So that was what made it very difficult. But today, most of these things are accelerated because of the new government. So O1 visa is not too demanding again. But for me, it was really a tough one because there was COVID. America had to deprioritize, giving people visa for coming into the country. There was lockdown. I could not even go to submit my application, and that really, really extended the time.
Thank you for that. Someone else is asking that, oh, I only have 7 physical trainings, and you have pictures to prove it, but you don't have videos of the training. Would that be enough? Before Eyitayo answers, I would just say, please go on that site and look at all the requirements. But Eyitayo, please go ahead.
Absolutely. You don't need videos. You're not going to submit videos. You are only going to submit screenshots. So pictures are okay. Absolutely, that's what you're going to submit anyways.
Yeah. Somebody is asking about degrees. I think they've gotten it confused to say you need a degree to apply. It says, are there class of degrees expected? I read computer engineering.
Well, there are no class of degrees. You are lucky. You read computer engineering. I read medical physiology.
Yeah, and you were speaking about packaging yourself earlier during your presentation. I was just wondering if you could speak a bit more around that, because that's something we've been trying to communicate to our audience and our community generally around that question of packaging yourself, of some of the things that you've done, how you can write it in a certain way and people will find it impressive, but you write it in a different way and then it may not be looking so impressive anymore. Could you speak a bit more around that? And your video is off, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so in terms of packaging yourself and trying to really look good, it starts with your LinkedIn profile. I mean, I had to put together a very interesting and cool LinkedIn profile for myself. If you can put a blog together, put a blog, make sure that you can be seen on Google. And I think that's easy today to achieve. In terms of, I can't really train you within 6 minutes on how to write your application, but let me give you a framework. One of the easiest ways to think about it is when you're writing what you have done, always position yourself as a leader in your industry, right? I would say stuff like, Eyitayo is a future of work evangelist that has helped, number of young people on the African continent to learn premium technology skills and make a transition to the tech industry. If you're also looking for a better way to write about yourself, I would say look at all the people that have written about themselves and see the way they're writing about themselves. Go to my profile, see the way I'm writing about myself, pick some 2 lines and few sentences. Go to Badi's profile, pick another, go to, before you know it, you're using some strong words. I think that's pretty much, my recommendation. I would have loved to go deeper than this, but it's a whole lot, within a very short time. But benchmarking is the easiest way to do this. Just look at other guys. What are they doing? How are they representing themselves? How are they, creating, themselves online, digitally? And then you can do same.
Yeah. Somebody asked this in the Emigrate community, and what is the development pathway for a new product manager? I don't know if it's something you can break down for that person from level 0 to a point where they can qualify as either exceptional promise or exceptional talents in the field of technology. Is there a way to break that down for them into some sort of journey?
Yeah, certainly. So I would say if you have like 0 to 2 year work experience as a product manager, that means that you have taken the challenge of building some very, very complex products. And you've also worked with people, you've led people, you've taken the product to market. You're qualified for the exceptional promise, right? But typically those that get exceptional talent are senior product managers, vice president of product, head of product teams, like that. But I have seen quite a very junior person. His role while he was with Ulysses was product operations. Quite a very junior person. Got the visa. So, but got the visa as an exceptional promise, I guess. So it's quite easy in terms of like the path.
Yeah. And I guess some of the focus there is about track record. Some of the focus there is about some of the things that you've done over a period of time. Eyitayo spoke a lot about contributing to your own country, adding value, showing that you can add value because you have a track record of adding value. So think about that from that perspective, that what they want to see is that, if you can add value to your own country in Nigeria, or wherever you are in Africa, or wherever you are coming from, then the likely trend is that you will be able to add value to their own country as well. And as Eyitayo said, the visa is really not about celebrating your achievements, it's about inviting you to come and add more value and add value to their economy. Do you have to be an employer of labor to be considered? Eyitayo, I don't know if you could take that.
No, you don't have to be. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are not even, entrepreneurs. They are just employees, and they get the visa.
Oh, all right. Just before I invite Eyitayo to just say his last words around this session, because we just have about 3 more minutes to the hour. I see 2 questions that I think I can deal with quickly. What tech skill is good for someone that have experience in computer engineering? I think you should look at DevOps. I assume when you mean computer engineer, you mean systems engineering, physical computing, and all of that. I think you should look at things like DevOps, because the world is going to a case where all our hosting is done in a centralized data center. It was very lucrative back in the days for you to build a data center for banks. It is no longer lucrative because everybody is now looking at hosting their data remotely in the cloud and so on, except of course, if you get to work for likes of Google, eventually they are going to have a data center in Nigeria that will be massive and so on. But the key point is that's something you can look at. What's pathway for data analysts to get job with a foreign company? Apply, make sure you are able to show what you've got, make sure you're able to show the value that you're able to give to them. Don't give up. We've heard of people applying to about 100 different roles, 200 different roles for them to be considered for that one that they are looking for. So that's something you may want to think about in terms of applying and so on. From an Emigrate perspective, we do have a community. I saw a question around that, asking about, is there anywhere where I can ask more questions and so on? Yes, we have the Emigrate community. It's both on WhatsApp and on Telegram. Around the Emigrate community, we are unfortunately not able to have that community open all through the month, particularly because there's a cost of time to administer the community. So what we do for now is we open up the community for questions, engagement, usually on the day of Emigrate Open Day. For now, we've been doing Emigrate Open Day at least 1 edition a month. In the last couple of months, we've actually been having 2, but we've been having at least 1 edition a month. So the Wednesday of the open day, we usually will open up for question in that community. We do have a premium community that we are building as well, which is on Slack, which is the Emigrate Circle. And that's, for more serious-minded people that are really committed to this journey as well. One of the things Eyitayo did say is the fact that don't try and do this journey alone. Find a couple of friends, and if you don't have people around you that have that kind of mindset as well, then we have the Emigrate community where you will find people looking for co-founders and things like that for you to be able to build your profile. We do a lot of things for free in the Emigrate community, and we invite you to please take advantage of all these things that we do have available for free. Videos of past sessions, for example, are available as well. We have premium things as well. So for example, if you're trying to apply for the global talent visa, you may need some help and you may want to talk to us. Talking to us with the emigrating intro is free. However, there are premium services as well. So I've not misadvertised what we do or what we do not do. If you are new in the field of technology, something like the Global Tech Program may be interesting for you, because what it does, it's a 1 to 2 year journey. And what it does is it helps you to learn skill, gain experience, and gain exposure. For some of us, we do have the skills, but the problem is we don't have the right set of experience and exposure that is required for you to show that you are globally attractive. Something like that is something that the Global Tech Program is built on to help you achieve. So even if you already have the base skills and all of that, what about the experience needed? What about the exposure needed? It's a bit pricey at 1.2 million for the 1 to 2 year journey. However, the company is also committed to say we would invest in you if only you choose to invest in yourself. And for those of us that are highly experienced and probably already qualify or are already on the pathway to qualify, we invite you to mentor others. As Eyitayo mentioned, train people. You can organize your own trainings and all of that. You can show that. But if you want to show mentoring, you need to show mentoring in a formal mentoring, in something formal. And that's something that we built as the Beacon mentoring platform. You can apply to be a mentor, and it doesn't have to be very invasive. You can decide to say, oh, I can only do one person every 6 months or anything like that. There are many people looking for that level of mentorship, particularly if you already have that skill and as well. And this is also helpful in helping to show that you are globally attractive. Eyitayo, we'll just do last word. Sorry, we're just a little over time. I see many more questions since I was speaking, and maybe I'll just close out with those questions. Yeah, so Eyitayo, last words?
Absolutely. I mean, the last words from me will
Your
be
video
that,
is off though.
yeah, I do. I know. I apologize.
Oh, okay, sorry. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
The last words from me would be that you should take bold step and don't be intimidated by all this information. Just take little action, one after the other. Start to put your documents together. The sky is the beginning. Have a beautiful evening, guys.
Thank you so much, Eyitayo, for that. And we'd like to say a big thank you as well for spending your evening with us today, sharing your experience. It's been very inspiring, even for myself as well, very inspiring. And I believe that the community has found this very, very useful. I'll just answer the last few questions before we sign off. How do we compute all of this information format requested? Go online, you'll be able to see what they are asking for. What about those with Azure skills? Yeah, same thing. Any skill that you have would likely, if it is in high demand, it would likely qualify. Is it a must? We must train through Utiva. No, it's not. Utiva is there, Beacon Dev Center is there, and there are several other places where you can do different kinds of training. But please understand that training is just a first step. The other things you need to do is to show yourself globally attractive is beyond just you learning the skills. You need to gain experience, you need to gain exposure to. There are many ways to do that, but one of the ones that we provide is the Global Tech Program. How do you apply for that? Go to beacon.net/global-tech, or if you just send an email to the email address on my screen at the moment, you would be able to get additional details on how to apply for something like that. Is there age restriction? No. We know of people that are 50, 55 that have gotten the global talent visa, for example. So there's no age restriction as far as I know, as long as you're an adult over 18, that is. And I've heard of a 55-year-old getting the exceptional promise. That's even what is interesting, right? So no age restriction whatsoever. Global Tech, how do I join? Said that already, beacon.net/global-tech is where you apply, and then you take it from there. So yeah, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. My own last words is this. There's a lot of information out there. Everything we've said now, aside from the unique experiences of Eyitayo, is in public domain. The question you should ask yourself is, some of these things, how come I don't know them? some of the questions that some of us have asked right now, it's in public domain. And thank you, Isaac Brown, for reposting that link. Go and read that. Don't stop halfway and say, oh, I'm too tired, I'm no longer reading, because that is your answer script. If you've decided that you want to get the global talent visa, the Tech Nation visa, which is actually UK global talent visa for the field of digital technology. That's a mouthful. So that's why we call it the Tech Nation visa, because the only endorsing body today is Tech Nation. If that's something that you know that you want to get, and you want to get it in 2 years' time, for example, then you know the things that you should be doing today for you to be able to get that visa in 2 years' time, or in 1 year, or tomorrow, depending on where and what kind of track record you already have. The key point here is that the qualification is online. What you need is online. The question is, do you match who they are looking for? Have you shown the track record that they are looking for? And if you need help, don't hesitate to speak with us as well. Some of the things that we cover is on my screen, and some of the things that the Emigrate services cover as well, many of them free, is also on my screen. So have a good night, and thank you for joining us tonight. We will let you know the next Emigrate Open Day, which will be in August. We will let you know the dates and so on. Thank you, everyone, and have a good night rest. Good night.